This is Gigi Sabat, and you're listening to the Walk With Me podcast. My guest today is Mitch Gray. He's an author and speaker. Welcome to the show, Mitch.
Hey, Gigi. Great to be here with you.
Likewise, such an honor to have you here today. Now, why don't you start off by telling us more about you and where are you from?
So I am in New Mexico. That's where I've lived for, most of my adult life. I'll leave it at that. It's the easiest way to say it. Originally grew up in Oklahoma, grew up on the farm in Oklahoma, and moved around a little bit in my middle school years. But yeah, I've been in New Mexico a long time. I'm kind of a Renaissance person. I tend to do a lot of things in life, and the best way to put it is I absolutely love inspiring people. I love helping people think differently and consider other perspectives in life. And so whether it's in my business consulting, I'm a former pastor, spent about a decade touring the country playing music. I'm a songwriter. And so I've done quite a few things in life. And all of it is just really from the motivation of how can I help people live deeper, more meaningful lives? And that's what's brought us here today.
I love it. Now, tell us a little bit more about your book, How to Hire and Keep Great People.
Yeah, that's my latest book. This is my markup copy, so that's a very special copy to me. If you're an author listening, you know what I mean by a markup copy. So How to Hire and Keep Great People was really inspired by 20 to 25 years of leading teams, but also leading leaders. And what I experienced about 25 years ago when I stepped into the business world was the challenge of recruiting, hiring, doing that strategically, and then developing the people that you bring on your team. Over the next 20 years, what I realized is I kept hearing the same complaint from leaders. We can't find good people. We can't find good people. This is not a new complaint. I know the last few years we seem to have, hear it more resoundingly, but it's been the same complaint for a very, very long time. And so about 5 years ago, when I really began kind of reshaping my message and reshaping my strategy for business, the question became, what's the problem I hear most often? And it is, nobody wants to work. We can't find people. And I knew that was a myth. I've lived it. There are amazing people out there ready to go to work for a great organization. There are amazing people out there that are highly skilled, highly passionate, high aptitude. The issue is most organizations and leaders haven't identified who they truly need and why they need them. So I set out to write a book about it, How to Hire and Keep Great People, go-to guide for creating great culture, building great teams, and developing great talent.
I love it. Now, Mitch, how can employers improve their hiring process if needed?
First of all, to me, the step is clear. The most critical step is to identify their perfect teammate persona. And what I mean by that is remove the job description, remove the task, and simply identify the personas, the people, the presence, the energy that you want at the table when it comes to your team. As a former athlete, I know you're a former athlete. One of the really cool things you learn as an athlete is how to function within a team. And under a really great coach and really great leadership, they're kind of the ones that realize I need to match certain teammates together, whether that's in successful drills or for successful victories. It really takes this balance. And what I don't see most often in the workplace is leaders understanding I need certain people to be together on this project because their personalities balance each other, their aptitude balances each other. Or if they have a team of 30 people and most of the people on the team are outgoing personalities, they need more introverts. You can even bring that to culture or ethnicity or gender. And so what I'm really talking about is when you're creating that perfect teammate persona is identifying the aptitude, attitude, and energy that really connects with your culture as an organization and is going to balance out your team. I believe that's the most critical step. I think it's the first step. And I also believe it's a step that most people are missing.
Wow, very powerful. Now, Mitch, there is a saying that you love, and a quote, it stated, the greater investment you make in the people around you, the greater return you will see. Tell us a little bit more about the quote and why do you love it?
Yeah, let me peel that back a little bit. I believe there are multiple forms of currency. There's emotional currency, spiritual currency, physical currency, mental currency. And what I mean by that is Far too often in the business world, we only view things by financial currency. If I pay them enough, they will do the job I want them to do. But oftentimes we forget the emotional, spiritual, mental currency that is actually more important than the financial currency. We know that because the data shows us, even if you're paying your employees well, if you don't treat them even better, they will not stay. And so when we talk about investing in your team, how are you developing them? I was actually visiting with a client recently, and they're having a hard time keeping people on their team, but most of their organization is college age or younger. So then my question became, when you're developing your leaders, why couldn't you budget within your organization $1,000 scholarship for people to go take classes at the community college? Why couldn't you budget in your recruiting strategy? Hey, we're going to help out if you recruit someone and they stay and they're a fit. We're going to give you a bonus or something of that nature. We're going to give you extra paid time off. There's so many ways that you can invest in people. And when you invest in the human spirit always returns countless fold of what that investment was. And the first most easy way to invest is to show affirmation and to say thank you. If you can do that every day, and it can't be too redundant, it will change the game.
I love it. Now, Mitch, tell us a little bit more about Mitch Gray Media.
Yeah, it's really me, right? It's just this idea of the reflection that I hope to see in myself and the reflection that we can hopefully empower in others. So we have multiple platforms and projects. We have the Mitch Gray Show Podcast, which you were a guest on. Your episode actually released recently. We have the books. We have a How to Hire and Keep Great People curriculum. We're developing more curriculums. Our YouTube channel is growing, and we're going to be putting more and more resources on that YouTube channel. And I can't tell you everything we have for 2023, but we've got some pretty awesome stuff coming, like a live call-in show and some other things as well.
I love it. Now, Mitch, what is your best advice to the audience for walking with purpose and living a life of happiness?
Yeah, what do you enjoy? What do you enjoy doing? And how does it make you come alive? If you can really answer those two questions, that is the genesis for changing your life. Far too often, we're told, no, we can't do something. But that something is the very thing that brings us joy. And so I think we leave that question to the wayside. But really, what brings me joy at the end of the day? What makes me feel fulfilled? We can call it purpose. We can call it calling. We can call it whatever anyone wants to call it. Give it the language you want. But the question is, what brings you joy? What makes you feel fulfilled? Do more of that. And it really kind of flips the script on how fulfilling this life can truly be and gives you that purpose. I believe everyone, Gigi, has something inside of them that's bubbling. I believe everyone has something deep within that's calling out to them. Do that.
It's very true. Now, Mitch, what would you tell someone who is stuck right now or maybe facing a challenge in not just their life, but maybe even in their business?
Yeah. First thing, look in the mirror and say, thank you. You showed up today. And oftentimes we forget that just showing up is the battle. Everything else will usually take care of itself when we show up. Because if we have the courage to show up, we've probably given ourselves the permissions to learn. And if we've given ourselves the permission to learn, then we can overcome anything. But it's just showing up. If we never show up, we can't do anything else. So say thank you to yourself for showing up. Second of all, have the courage to look at the real reflection in that mirror. Take a really deep look into your eyes, into your soul, and go, what do I reflect and what do I want to see reflecting? And when we can take that personal inventory, that is a very spiritual act, by the way. It's an act that many people don't take the time to do. But if we can really face our spirit, face our shadow, and learn from that reflection, oftentimes the answer is already facing us. We just haven't given it time to come forth.
I love it. Show up and serve. Very powerful.
Yes.
Now, Mala has joined in. She says, greetings. Mala chiming in. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for listening in. And now, Mitch, where can the audience find you?
Yeah, social media, mainly LinkedIn and Instagram at Gray Media. My website, mitchgraymedia.com, has all the information on services we offer. There's an email form there. They can ask any questions, look into booking us for a speaking event or a consulting discovery call, and the Mitch Gray Show anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Absolutely amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to check out Mitch at mitchgraymedia.com and all of his social media platforms. And Mitch, thank you for being a guest on Walk With Me podcast.
I love it. Thank you, Gigi.
God bless.